Hey, what's up, boys and girls? Man Bear here, and it is 2022, and the carnivore diet is evolving, so you better keep up. Now, I've been doing it on and off for 3 years, studying it, living it, doing it religiously. Absolutely love it, but it's evolving, and new techniques and new scientific studies are coming out, and there's a couple that I want to go over today because it's really made a profound change on not only the way I look, but the way I feel moving forward. So as we originally started the carnivore diet, it was just lots of fats, lots of protein. If I was weighing 250, I'd have 300 grams of protein, if not more. But what they're really starting to show, and what some studies recently have come out from actually a guy who's translated them very well. I love these guys, Renaissance Periodization, RP, Dr. Mike, who does a lot of their videos over there. They did a study where really you shouldn't have any more than 1 gram of protein per body. I think the actual was like 0.8 to 0.95. So right now I'm about 250 pounds, a little bit lighter than I normally am. So I'm only consuming up to 250 grams of protein a day. And obviously having 350 grams, it won't hurt me. Your body just won't utilize it. So if you guys can, if you weigh 200 pounds, stick right around 200 grams of protein a day, maybe 10 less, and you'll be perfectly fine. Now, on top of that, the second thing is that when I first started carnivore, I was eating almost 1-to-1. So 250 grams of fat, 250 grams of protein, which was a lot. And then I kind of shifted it to 200 grams of fat, 250 grams of protein. That was pretty good. I wasn't losing as much weight as I would have liked, but I felt obviously amazing. Now, what we're learning that what I started doing in the last 6 months is going to about 100 grams of fat, still maintaining 250 grams of protein, but staying at 100 grams of fat. And I felt like I'm much more optimized at this. And now, originally I did try to go even a little less fat, but what they're saying, what Dr. Mike from RP is also translating in these studies, is that not enough fat will affect your sex drive, and more so for men. There are some studies in women that it just shows slight effect, but not as drastic as men. So for you guys out there, for me, for any of you, don't go too low of fats, because it will directly hurt your sex drive, which I did experience at that, and we couldn't figure it out. So once I heard the study and read about it and watched Dr. Mike elaborate on it, it's like, wow, okay, so we got to eat some more fat. So right now, I said 100, but I'm like 125 and 250 grams of protein. So I'm like 2 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and that my body changed more than ever. I feel better. The sex drive is up, but I feel perfect. For 1 gram of fat, you have 2 grams of protein. And right now the studies show that that is optimal and very healthy on the carnivore diet. All right, this leads me into the last one. As you guys know, I get most of my research and I study most from Mark Bell, who introduced me to the carnivore diet, and we talk, and he's amazing. I hope you guys follow him. He had Matt DeLauer on his podcast a couple weeks ago, who I've actually done a lot. Matt DeLauer, I mean, he's very smart. He tests on himself, and then if it works, he gives it to his audience, which I really like, and that's what I try to do here. But he did a study where you hear this a lot about keto, like, oh, you eat too much protein, it's going to pull you out of ketosis. Because on a keto diet, 70% of your macros are fats. And I think you have like 20% protein and 10% carbs. So they're saying, well, you can't eat too much protein because it'll pull you out of ketosis. Well, science shows now, and Matt elaborated this on Mark Bell's Power podcast, is that that absolutely has no effect on it. So eat all the protein you want, still consume your fats, and it will not pull you out of ketosis. Matt even did studies where he'd eat 100 grams of rice directly after a workout, and it would pull him out of keto, but for an hour or for 2 hours, and then his body, because his liver's already producing ketones, it started right back up almost immediately or within a couple hours. So high amounts of protein will not pull you out of ketosis when you're on the carnivore diet, so please don't worry about that. That's something that I worried about. I was like, well, maybe I'm not producing enough ketones, but it's not true. Absolutely not true, and that's something relatively new that we're learning. So given all that, make sure you guys are eating your body weight in protein, if not a little bit under. Have 1 gram of fat for every 2 grams of protein you have. Don't go the fat too low because then your sex drive starts getting affected, and don't worry about eating too much protein because your body will not stop producing ketones. So I hope this helped you guys, and for more carnivore videos, come on back, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.